So this would have been getting mid-'80s, moving into a little bit later in the '80s. And there's this one thing, I hated Mario Andretti for years because I felt this was personal, but it wasn't. I had to actually properly grow up and work in the sport to understand. I had auto course annual from like 1987. Mario, obviously the goat of goats. I had brought my auto course and was like, oh, I could actually maybe see him and get him to sign this. They were done, and effectively everybody had taken their cars off pit lane and were gone. Only there were 2 people left, and his car was still there. Standing at the front of the car, talking to his race engineer, Tony Sakali. I just stepped over the wall onto pit lane, which again, I should not have been doing. And so I step out onto pit lane, step to the back of the car, behind the rear wing, however many feet long it was, enough to where I wasn't too close to be intruding, but close enough for him to know, oh, there's a kid standing there and he's got something in hand and he's got a Sharpie or something. And it's pretty obvious what it was. And brother, it felt like I stood there for 9 years. He's not looking over at me. He's not acknowledging me. And time's going on and I'm getting more angry and more angry. And so I walk up at a point where it feels like the conversation's starting to taper off with his engineer. He motions in some way, receives the auto course, signs it while never breaking eye contact with his engineer. Didn't say a word to me, basically extended the book and pen back, which I took, never looked at me, never acknowledged me, never broke what he was doing. And it killed me, Alex, because again, in my mind, all I wanted was validation from someone who was one of my greatest heroes. And I took that the wrong way for years. If I'd been cool, I wouldn't have gotten behind the car and made sure I was intruding and in his general frame of view and waited and waited and waited. I would have just stood on the other side of the pit wall, waited however long for the conversation to end. When it was over and he was walking back to step over, Mr. Andretti, could you please? Yeah. I didn't do that.